Entrevistas que lo conectan al mundo. Así amaneció.
El contacto a las 9:15 de la mañana es con la doctora Andrea de Souza, profesora titular, directora de curso y directora del Programa de Estudios Brasileños del Centro Latinoamericano. Ella nos habla exactamente desde Reino Unido sobre el tema de las elecciones en Brasil. Para la conducción de esta entrevista, Guillermo Hidalgo.
¿Cuál es su primera pregunta para traducírsela?
Básicamente nosotros queremos saber desde acá, desde Guayaquil, Ecuador, cuál es la sensación que se vive ahora mismo en Brasil respecto a los resultados obtenidos en esta primera vuelta electoral presidencial.
Good morning, Dra de Souza. Thanks for being with us again. Is there a shock in Brazil after the results that we had from yesterday's elections?
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me. And yes, there is a shock about the result of the elections. Interestingly, there is a shock on both sides. And those following the research and the polls will know that Lula was expected to be way ahead of Bolsonaro, and the margin is much smaller than predicted. However, what is also now known is that people who vote for Bolsonaro probably follow a different media outlets and parallel research results because they were expecting Bolsonaro to win in the first round. So both sides are actually extremely disappointed, which shows that there is not only a division in politics, but also on information.
Bueno, nos dice que si hay un shock, Carlos, ¿ya? Porque primero la gente de Lula da Silva pensaban que iban a ganar en la primera vuelta por un amplio margen, ¿ok? Y que eso no se ha dado. Pero sorpresivamente, no sabe ella de dónde, la gente de Bolsonaro también pensaba que iba a ganar en primera vuelta, ¿ya? Y que eso demuestra lo dividido que está el país y lo dividido que va a estar la votación para la segunda vuelta.
En esa misma línea le preguntamos a la doctora de Souza cuál sería el pronóstico en función de lo que ocurrirá a finales de este mes.
Doctora, is there any prediction that what will come for the second part of this election for presidential in Brazil?
No, it is early for that. I think what we need to see is how those candidates who received a few votes, like 2-3%, how do we position themselves, if they will back up Lula or Bolsonaro, and if their voters will follow the leadership of those candidates. Then we can start predicting how the situation will change.
Bueno, nos dice que es un poco temprano para saberlo, pero que lo que tenemos que fijarnos es, por ejemplo, la mujer que quedó en tercer lugar, no me acuerdo el nombre de ella en este momento, la que quedó en tercer lugar, ¿a dónde van a ir esos votos? Sabemos que no son endosables, pero ayuda mucho que el líder del partido o de esa comunidad diga por quién o no quién votar. Sabemos que los votos no son 100% endosables, repito, pero eso es lo que tenemos que mirar, ¿dónde van esos votos? Gretta.
Sí, una pregunta tal vez doble, Guille. ¿Qué se viene en este momento para la doctora Andrea de Souza? ¿Qué se viene en este momento para los votantes hasta que ya lleguemos al momento de las elecciones como tal? Y dos, todos los votantes también van a elegir a la Cámara de Diputados, al Senado. ¿Qué tan divididos están ellos políticamente hablando?
What are the population of Brazil should expect in this 3 or 4 weeks before the next election? That's the first part of my question.
Sorry, I don't think I got the question. Can you please repeat?
What should they expect as a matter of what Lula and Bolsonaro will throw against each other in this part of the election? What should we expect? A very aggressive election, or should we expect that they continue as they've been doing it till now?
I think especially from Bolsonaro's supporters, there is a escalating violence and an escalation in violence. So I think we can expect this to increase. And how the other side will respond, it's perhaps also with an escalation of violence. And we have passed the point of having political adversaries. It's really now having political enemies. And politics in Brazil is becoming a dangerous situation. And that also explains why perhaps the polls were wrong, because people are becoming scared to say for whom they will vote and whom they support.
Bueno, nos dice que el lado de Bolsonaro se va a volver muy agresivo, muy violento. El lado de Lula va a responder tal vez de la misma manera, pero que la política en Brasil dejó de ser de adversarios y se está convirtiendo en una política de enemigos. Le voy a hacer la segunda parte de su pregunta.
Derecha o izquierda en el tema de la
There
Cámara
is
de Diputados.
also election for the chambers in Brazil. How is going to be divided? Do you have any numbers that what the elections in this part will be?
Yeah, so what we could see already, it's still a time of analysis of the results. It was just overnight. So this is a very good question, but for a very tired researcher, what I can say so far is that the Congress looks very much to the far right. A lot of Bolsonaro former ministers have been elected. So I think we can, if Lula, for example, wins, we can expect him to have a very intense opposition in the Congress.
Bueno, nos dice que ha ganado mucha gente de Bolsonaro, ¿ya? Que va a tener Lula, va a tener una oposición muy férrea y que todavía falta mucho para terminar de contar los votos, pero que de lo que se sabe hasta ahora es eso.
Para la doctora de Souza, ¿qué piden principalmente los brasileños a su nuevo presidente?
Doctora de Souza, what are the Brazilians asking for their new president? What are the biggest needs that Brazil have right now?
This is an election that very much is connected to the economy, as most elections are. But in this case, Brazil is facing heavy inflation and precariousness, unemployment. So this is an election where this is really the key agenda.
Bueno, nos dice que la economía, que no hay más allá que la economía, que normalmente las elecciones tienen que ver con la economía, pero en especial esta, porque la inflación, la falta de trabajo en Brasil es muy alta y que la verdad es que ella cree que todo va a girar alrededor de eso. Le voy a hacer yo una pregunta. He visto que hay muchos famosos como Mark Hamill, como el actor de Hulk, Mark Ruffalo, y muchas estrellas de Brasil han tomado partes en esta elección. ¿Es normal eso en Brasil? Doctora, we have seen on social media that there is a mega stars like Mark Hamill from Star Wars or Ruffalo from Marvel, the Hulk, that have take sides. In Brazil, we have seen soccer players, artists who has take open parts in this election. Is this normal in Brazil, or the polarization is so big that this is something new?
This is something new. A lot of people are voicing their sides. Some of it were not a surprise, like we already knew. For example, that Neymar had meetings with Bolsonaro before, so it was not necessarily secret that he would probably support Bolsonaro. However, that they really enter the dispute that way and try to shift votes and influence the ballots is new.
Bueno, nos dice que en general es muy nuevo, aunque estrellas como Neymar se han reunido con el presidente Bolsonaro, pero que la polarización es tan grande que estrellas de la fama que mencioné hace un momento, por primera vez llegan a estos niveles, que no ha sido algo normal.
Ahora, esta posibilidad de que Lula da Silva pueda obtener nuevamente el poder, ¿es una tendencia o se convertiría en una tendencia latinoamericana? ¿Qué opina usted, doctora de Souza?
Doctora, if Lula, I think we talked about it last time that we had you here, but do you think that if Lula wins, it will be a tendency in Latin America? A socialist leader goes through presidency?
I think there might be a turn to the left in Latin America, and I think this could be influenced by leadership such as Lula, but also I think the situation post-COVID in the region says a lot, where people really need a state that can provide social programs.
Bueno, nos dice que sí, que es una tendencia, que sería una tendencia. Yo he leído, por ejemplo, que Cristina y Alberto Fernández ruegan a Dios de que gane Lula y no Bolsonaro. Vamos a agradecerle a la doctora por haber estado con nosotros el día de hoy. Dear Doctora, thank you very much for being with us in our show. We hope you... Where are you, in Oxford, in London? Where are you at?
Oxford.
Really nice. And you guys wake up today with the news that the Prime Minister Tusk won't go to a part with the taxes. The news about the taxes is being hearing around the world because of the government in Great Britain was in deep trouble if they passed that law, wasn't it?
Sorry, this question is for me. I
This
don't think I can answer.
This morning,
about British politics.
Yeah. Don't worry about
the
it.
Brazilian politics right now.
Thank you very much for being with us.
British politics is being also overwhelming.
Yeah, it's overwhelming. Thank you very much for being with us today, and we hope you have you again in the show in the future. Thank you.